What's going on? It's Saturday afternoon. It's the fucking. We're gonna start again. I had nothing to say. Whoa. All right. What's going on? It's the Daily Dividends podcast brought to you by PredictionStrike.com. We're here. We're ready. We got some numbers. It's Saturday afternoon. Duke is playing later. The NBA playoffs are heating up. What do we got? We got MLS strike coming soon. It's opening day for the MLS.
Sure, maybe. I don't know.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
I didn't know you were going to throw it to me there with MLS.
Yeah.
I can be.
Now
I
you
probably am not, but I can be.
Yeah.
Slap that on the resume, Dan.
Sure. You got it. I've been saying for years that I actually do want to start becoming an NYCFC fan. Just because they were that new team that came out a couple of years ago, expansion team. David Villa was on it. It still is, I think. They play in Yankee Stadium.
6 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Dude, we were in high school when we were talking about that shit.
That's not true. That's not true. I'm gonna fact check this right now. What year did the NYCFC start? Anyway, continue.
All right, so we doing portfolios? Question mark. Oh yeah, we didn't do the whole breakdown before we started this, but so who wants to talk portfolios?
I got some money moves we can talk about.
Facts.
Go for it.
I got a huge bump from KD being out this week, so that DeMarcus Cousins I was playing around with definitely pan out well. I ended up selling on that earlier this week when KD came back because now his projection is way too obtainable.
Who, DeMarcus?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he's he's definitely gonna lose a little value. Then once his projection comes back down, I can maybe hop back into it for playoffs, but I don't know about that. The Dragic I had
Coming back.
up about 20%.
Okay.
Yeah. Now Boban's still hitting. What, you can't hear me?
Yeah, it was a little quiet. I'm just fixing you up. Just listen to the side. It was there. We heard you. It was just quiet.
Maybe you should turn me the fuck up then, huh?
Oh, we're gonna start this debate again.
You should fucking turn me up.
Nah, in Dan's defense, he did turn you up while you were talking. So, but
You should do that before.
facts.
That's what you sound check.
But now you sound normal. So.
But it's okay, thank you. I appreciate it. It's not like I wasn't talking for the last 5 minutes.
I was trying. Keep going.
Whiteside was
Continue.
Whiteside was out this week, so I copped some Bam out of bio.
Shit.
That was fucking lit.
Yeah, I've been looking at Heat players.
Yeah, you should. They got something good going now. Whatchamacallit. One thing, shout out to KJ for recommending those two fucking shit players.
Who?
Isaiah Thomas and Andrew Shimmy. Both of them. I copped both when he said to cop. Both trash. Oh
Shout
my
out KJ.
God. Shout out KJ. So trash. That Kevin Love was good. I sold on that.
Ooh.
I sold on that. That Robin Lopez I had, that was pretty good too. I sold on that. It was a good, my portfolio pretty good week, I'd say.
Robin Lopez too?
Not me selling.
How much was he?
When I got him,
Yeah.
it was 73 cents.
What?
Yeah. When they traded away, I think who they traded away? They traded away everybody. Jabari. That's when I picked him up.
What team is Jabari Parker on?
Now he's on the Pelicans.
Holy shit.
No. Maybe the Pelicans? I don't know.
Nah, here we go. I got us. Oh, he's on the Wizards.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
That's kind of fire.
Yeah, it's big fire.
Good for him.
They're competing. They can make the last spot.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into some of that stock too.
No, volatile. There's a reason why this is 8th team in 8 years.
Oh, that's facts. I mean, he's just mellow.
Yeah, facts.
Not as good.
Different set of skills. But still mellow.
Yeah, it's just mellow size.
That's pretty much all I got.
In the way. Your boy. I'm holding on to Kevin Knox for the whole season. Don't know why. He's just up and down. Up and down around $1. We got Thon Maker, who will not touch the goddamn court for some reason. I'm waiting for that. I have Dwight Powell, who's still on the rise, even though I cut his stock down. I cut it down to only like a couple shares. But he's sitting at 268. I don't even know what I got in at. And I held on to Colin Sexton for whatever silly reason, but he's still above what I got him. He's sitting at 132 right now. Who else? I got clowned big time because I thought he was on the Lakers, but I kept Zubac.
He's on Clippers.
Yeah, he's on the Clippers.
Yeah.
And his price is actually going up. So what's up? Dev, me and you have beef about Boban. I'm not good at math, and I'm not willing to do the math. But when I got him before his 2 big games, I know he's hurt now. But I got him before those 2 big-ass games, and the shit didn't change that much.
He probably was projected. Was he projected below?
Nah, bro, he put up like some crazy. He put up like 30 points. Projection 12 points, actual 36. Projection 17, actual 31. And then he got hurt, so I'm like, all right, what? I'll get the ups before before his injury or whatever. Nah, stagnant. Whatever.
Facts.
It's okay because Kevin Love went all the way up. Kevin Love, I got in at 655. He's in at fucking 1060 right now.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
That's nice. What is projection?
Right now, his projection is probably something crazy. His projection right now is 40.65 points.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I got out of there. That's
Yeah.
the first thing I got out of there.
But who else? I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm just saying, like, who else is going to get that usage rate in Cleveland right now? Are they really going to bench Kevin Love to play like what the hell is that the other big doofy white dude's name?
I mean, if they're playing for nothing, probably.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's still going to get touches because he's the most talented person on the team. Not saying much, but still.
He has 2 games so far where he scored 44 and then one where he scored 53. But it might be time to get out, but just that was a crazy ride. Pause for a little bit.
I thought he was going to become Kevin Love of Minnesota back in the day. Now that he actually he was because he was the only one on that team. So I thought he was going to go back to that 20 points, 40 rebound, whatever the hell type of deal. Anyway, so I digress. Was there anything else?
No, that was your boy. Had his, Kevin Love really held it down for me this week.
Mm-hmm.
A couple guys doing it. Mm-hmm. Just getting ready for the playoffs.
So before I do mine, I will say I propose Marcus to you. We're even. So the reason that your mic wasn't working in the beginning is because I accidentally thought your mic was my mic, so I had the levels flopped.
Oh.
So I fixed it. But
so Dan was all the way up.
So I was all the way off. But I was also right that NYCFC didn't start playing until 2015. We were 3 years out of high school by the time that happened. So yeah.
That was still about 5 years ago.
What's your point?
Long ago.
Which is my
4.
point.
All right. Either way, moving on.
My point was made. Thank
moving
you.
On. So
I'm gonna hit my little.
It's the beauty of having the board. Let's see. I'm kind of going back and forth. I bought in on. I'm still riding like the DeMarcus Cousins train for a little bit. I bought in 20 shares a while ago. I'm up like $9 on that, which is solid because he's been kind of fluctuating the past couple weeks. Karis LeVert hasn't done anything for me. I got in like real small when he came back from injury. He's actually gone down. LeBron is still coasting, like making me. I have LeBron right now at like, this new cool thing that Prediction Strike is doing. That I don't know if we've talked about, but they actually show you the total paid on your investment versus the total it's worth now. So not only do you see the percent increases, but you actually see how much money you've made or lost on that deal. So that's kind of what I've been talking to in right now.
It's pretty fire for the ones that you made money on.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just like, I didn't want to know that. Yeah. So I have a solid. I'm plus $3 on LeBron. Kemba finally swung back up for me. I thought I was gonna have to sell him at a loss last week because he had dipped all the way back down to below 770, but he's at 866 right now. So I got a solid $9 up on him. And Marc Gasol, after my little update last week, I bought in on Marc Gasol. Hey, Marc Gasol's gone. I bought him at 473. He's up to 545 right now.
Nice.
So I think he's finally starting to get into his rhythm there in Toronto, where he's actually getting minutes and he's getting all those touches that Valanciunas didn't get or did get, but is now not getting because he's been traded. So I think they're finally starting to use him in that offense, and they're still doing the thing where they're resting Kawhi every third or fourth game.
Soft.
So, yeah, sure, but I think it'll be working out. So that's otherwise everything's been pretty stagnant. But those are the key points.
Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, I would like to hear from you guys a little bit too. There's the feedback people give you whenever you actually bring up the podcast and the website. But the two questions are: do you actually make money on the whatever on the fucking prediction track? I'm like yeah. And then people are like, do you actually listen to the podcast? Do people actually listen to the podcast? I'm like, a little bit. I'm like, well, how about you guys? How about I fucking just introduce you guys to each other? So you guys all just fucking listen to the podcast and make some goddamn money, because that's what we're talking about on the goddamn podcast. How much money we make.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to let that out.
No, you're fine. That's what we're here for. That's what we're doing.
Literally what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
I broke. I shot the idea to my barber the other day, and he's like, "You actually make money on that?" I'm like, "Nah, dude. I just like."
Who was it? Andy?
No, it was Jody. I was like, "Nah, dude. Like, I just donate to it. Like, come on, man."
Well, we are kind of donating a little bit.
No, but I broke it down as a stock market. It's a stock market.
You control
What
every
else is my
dollar you
goal?
put in.
Yeah, what else is my end goal here?
Mm.
We're here to make money.
Bravo, nicely done.
Hey, thank you.
Good job. I'm gonna give you even the. I'm gonna give you the.
Yeah, Nick's a lot better at it than me.
Oh, he's so much better. He's absolutely. I'm not arguing that. He's so much better at it than I am.
Honestly, I get scared in the middle all the time that I'm gonna lose my point entirely.
Just run out of breath.
Yeah. Okay, let's start over. All right, I'm done clowning.
All right, hit the news cue.
Oh, hit the news. We have a new sounder.
Is it playing?
This is why I tell you to wear headphones, Marcus.
Nah, man, you know me.
Time for a major news update with Marcus.
Hey. Yeah, it was a pretty, for NFL offseason, it was a pretty big week. Combine happening.
Hey.
Don't really give a fuck about that. It has nothing to do with money and prediction strike. So, two big free agents last couple weeks. I want to hear your thoughts on them.
Go.
Le'Veon Bell,
Ooh.
Not tagged, official free agent. Nick Foles, not tagged, officially free agent. Now, not knowing where they're going, which one of these guys would you guys rather invest in? If you had to haul some money into one of these guys in the off season for the upcoming NFL season, who do you predict is going to have a better situation and better season?
My initial reaction is Le'Veon, just because, knowing him as a player and an athlete, he just goes nuts on the field. But his projection,
from what you remember, it's been a minute. I heard he's fat.
Fuck it. I'll still rock it, dude. He played in college. He played in college at 240. Comes into the league at like whatever, a lot lower than that. Because 240 is a big running back. 240 is like Deontay Foreman. 240 is like fucking. Like a little bit smaller than like fucking.
I was gonna say, what's
Garrett Blunt?
What's thicko mode? What's CJ Anderson?
CJ Anderson's up there.
Also, just to give you guys an idea, Le'Veon is at the base $10 right now, and Nick Foles is at 23 cents per share right now.
Oh, well, fuck. There goes my entire argument.
You just changed up the whole thing there.
What do you think we're fucking talking about?
No,
money.
You're right. You're right. I think that
predictionstraight.com.
But you know what it is? I think that I would still rather put money on Le'Veon Bell. Because I'm so scared of Nick Foles. Because we saw this happen. We saw this happen a couple of years ago. He blows up in Philly. He has that season where he throws like 4 interceptions over 16 games, and they thought he was going to be the next thing. He goes to St. Louis, scrub. Goes to Houston, scrub. Comes back, and not for nothing, Nick Foles played well in the postseason this year. He was garbage in the regular season when he was filling in for Carson Wentz. So if you're talking about him actually putting up numbers to improve his stats, there's a reason he's only at 23 cents. He didn't end the season that well. He didn't really put up the numbers for it.
Nah, type Eagles defense. But
here's another one, LeGarrette Blunt.
It depends a lot on like what team they go to. Like, is Nick Foles even going to be a starter? Like,
and just like with the whole platform getting bigger, you got to think about those numbers too. More people in play. We saw what peak running back looks like. Peak share price. That was like about what? 20, nothing more than like $25 for like the highest.
Yeah.
Who was the highest, right?
It was Saquon.
And only like Pat Mahomes was hitting 30 for the QBs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So is that the ceiling for Nick Foles, given he gets a good situation?
I think the ceiling for Nick Foles isn't even that. I think the ceiling for Nick Foles is going to be like peak Tom, maybe like
Like $4? What are you saying?
But think about it. So now you invest now today, and then people see what it looks like when NFL season comes around, and that itself is going to drive his price to the roof.
It's true, but I really don't see him getting higher than. I think you're right. I think peak Tom Brady $4. I mean, yeah, it's still a 400% increase.
So what if he
works
gets
out.
what if he gets to 5 before even week 1 just from people buying?
That'd be wet.
That's a little way to game the system there. You're right. If you're just asking me who I think's going to have a better season and who's going to put up more numbers, I think it's going to be Le'Veon, regardless of where he goes.
Mhm.
But if you want to work the game a little bit there, I think you might be right about Nick Foles.
Oh, we forgot another guy. Fucking Big Chest.
Mr. Big Chest.
Fucking. Nah, yeah, I was pretty surprised by Nick Foles getting released, but AB also, I have no idea where he's gonna go.
Yeah, his suitors. I saw a suitor list. That shit looked ugly, bro. It was the freaking Raiders, Redskins, and Titans.
Oof.
Ugh.
What? Can I just say something? Because I feel like all right. Here's a little soapbox. My turn, Nick. I don't understand the problem with the diva wide receiver in the NFL. Like, we live in New York, so if you listen to sports talk radio in New York, all they talk about is whether or not Odell Beckham should be traded because of they call his antics or his behavior. But no, I'm saying I hear it a lot. I don't agree with it. Here's the thing. And this is specifically with Odell Beckham, and then I'm going to tie it to Antonio Brown in a second.
Okay.
So there's
so
much of this backlash behind Odell Beckham being like too out in the public and being a diva, talking too much. Like, you have to trade him because he looks bad in the league. That's what I hear from the media market.
The
whatever.
People that have to do that to put food on their table.
Right, but here's so I'm getting somewhere because you're absolutely right. All of us,
bullshit.
All of us,
Oh fuck.
all of us, like us fans, like we live in New York. We have a lot of Giants fans. Every single Giant fan I know does not give a flying fuck about what Odell Beckham does on Twitter. They don't care. So this is what I'm saying about Antonio Brown. Now, yes, you could argue that maybe there's some stuff inside the huddle with him and Big Ben, who apparently has also been rumored to be not a great teammate.
Apparently,
with him and the coach.
apparently, mad people are coming out now saying that Big Ben is a goddamn fucking apartheid activist.
Right. So my point. I'm not gonna sign off on that. But my point. How do I rebound from that? My point is this.
Activist.
Why is there so much negative attention put on a guy like Antonio Brown for doing stuff like this when
Dan,
nobody really does anybody really care, or
Dan,
do we just try to tell people that they care?
Dan, it's just like great that you can't understand it because that's just what it is. It's the privilege of it. It's because he's black. That's it. That's why he's on that microscope, because he's black. And
Yeah,
it's just
they're
like,
on him.
you know,
Honestly,
he's young, black, living his life, and they don't like that. They don't like that. You see all the shit Cam Newton gets the same, since Cam Newton's been in the league, he gets the same exact criticism as these guys. And Cam Newton has never been on a goddamn fucking hotel video with cocaine in front of models and shit like that, like Odell has. But when fucking Cam was like dabbing and shit, you would have thought that he was
freaking out.
You know, raping women in a bathroom.
I thought he was goose walking on the field or some shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
That's how much he was getting dragged back then. But they don't have to drag him anymore because they have all these new guys they can drag.
Yeah, Cam is a way better example because AB actually did break a bunch of laws and whatever.
But look at the exact other person in the situation that broke as many laws. And no one's even referring to any of it.
Facts.
Well, we just talked about Ben Roethlisberger. Like, people seem to forget that
he's
he has
white.
that bathroom incident in his past.
Because,
And
brother,
the motorcycle
he's white.
thing.
That's what it is. You know? And it's just like, people be like, oh, that's just, it's not, no, Nick, it's no card, it's nothing. That's what it is. Because you break down the facts of both situations, there's only one difference. And that's that.
And it doesn't help that, you know, being the wide receiver, like you're in that more like dependent position. So you're up for more scrutiny already.
That's what it is, you know?
Yeah, it's just
Look at
amplified.
freaking T.O., look at freaking Chad Johnson, all these guys. It's like, once they're not producing, they can't wait to get those guys the fuck out of there, bro. Just to let a fucking Jason Witten back in. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. Shout out Jason Witten coming in at 2 cents on prediction strike.
That was the next news update that I guess we're still on.
Hey, what do we
Do
got?
you want me to hit the drop again? You want to reset now? I'm gonna hit it.
We're fucking is the play?
You can talk about
Oh
it.
shit, okay, sorry. Yeah, so that was you know that's smart on his part, bro. Whether or not he actually wants to play football again, he's not stupid. He knows like the internet was eating him alive for his like horrendous broadcasting, while the complete opposite end, the same guy did same exact thing as him. Tony Romo's being praised, you know what I'm saying?
Killing
And
it.
he knows he was getting shitted on. So it's like, I don't know if that. I mean, yeah, he's not dumb. You know what I mean? He's not
Right.
dumb. This was the move to make before he gets fired, and then like he can't really do anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Hopefully he just plays like one season and then he goes to like that Alliance shit. He just dominates that for a little bit.
He went from being literally the king of the locker room for the Dallas Cowboys to then being the laughingstock of the broadcast company. But I mean, hey, listen, if you're going to get paid, I think he was getting paid something like $5 or $6 million for that job in Monday Night Football. If you're going to get paid to do that, I'll get paid to suck at my job for a year for $5 million. Pause. But
Oh, nice.
that was good teamwork on that one. But if you tell me like, hey, worst case scenario, you're gonna suck at your job, but no matter what, we're still gonna give you $5 million. I'm like, all right. I mean, listen, it's worth a shot. Maybe I'll be good at this. But I personally wish you would have been on the team this past season instead, because
Yeah.
I think we really could have used those 4-yard button hooks that he's always fucking open for every single time he goes down the field.
Could have used him on the flat.
Could have used them anywhere. I still remember we had a whole episode where we were talking about like Barwin and Swain.
Jarwin?
Exact. That's my point. I don't even
Cowboys
remember.
fan.
I don't even remember their fucking names. They were scrubs.
Cowboys
They
fan.
didn't know who to give the ball to.
Yo, how can we implement? This is completely off the rails. How do we implement the UFC into this shit?
It
It's
would be
gotta be a
tough.
way.
Because if they get like knocked out, what happens?
Stock plummets.
Oh, it's facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Makes sense.
saying?
I would say maybe you can, instead of doing it by wins and losses for fights, you would do it by like hits, land, blocks, like all the
You
stuff,
need a
all the
projection.
stuff that they use to
I
score the
definitely-
judges card.
I definitely feel you, but the best outcome is a fast knockout. So you can't, not reward someone for that. The moneymaker finish, you know what I'm saying?
It's a
Maybe-
crazy algorithm you guys are working on right
maybe
now.
it could be maybe there could be a section
A
of
system that like kind of
Well,
like
there could be a system in the algorithm that has something about
the longer
time,
the fight, the less
seconds
points.
allotted. Seconds allotted.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the way that they score fantasy defenses in football. You start with a certain amount of yards. The more yards you lose, the more it chips away.
Facts.
True.
Devin, I hope you're listening to this.
MMA strike.
Shit,
It's sponsored by ESPN
this is-
now, so you can just get it all from the same
This
place.
is free game.
Facts. I'm waiting on MLS
Free
strike.
game.
Soccer's
Shit.
coming, man. Soccer's
Free
coming.
game.
MLB strike.
MLB
Yeah,
strike's
bro.
gonna be
Come
crazy.
on. Islanders are looking beautiful. What we doing, baby? Come on.
Never mind.
Hey, let
I
me
was
get
going to
some.
talk about baseball contracts, but we're getting too far off the rails now. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Not to interject on whatever you guys were talking about, but the next thing I was going to talk about is the who's having a better final campaign, D Wade or Dirk. You see that game winner?
Dwayne Wade. It's
You
Dwayne Wade.
see that game winner against Golden State?
That game winner was totally by accident, but it still was awesome.
My God.
in the Miami Vice jerseys.
Well, here's the thing with that.
Oh, by the way, random. Sorry, before you get into
That's
that.
okay, no, you're
Remember
fine.
we're clowning the fucking Nets Coogee sweaters last
You
cast.
remember
we
how
weren't.
you were
Yeah,
clowning the Nets Coogee sweaters?
Yeah, those fucking idiots. They're getting sued by Coogee.
What?
Yeah, they better bust out the Starbucks joints real soon because that shit is over with.
Wow.
Yep, saw that this week.
Damn, I got a cop. Actually, never mind.
I don't know if you want to be part of that lawsuit.
Fuck that.
Some class action shit now.
But getting back to Dirk and D Wade, I actually find it kind of impressive that Dwayne Wade's kind of resurrected his career a little bit here, because those couple stints in Chicago and Cleveland, like, he was considered a laughingstock and he was considered washed. And mind you, he's playing limited minutes this season, and he's definitely not the flash that he was, 10 years ago. But the dude is out there not embarrassing himself. As much as I love Dirk Nowitzki, people are giving him all of these credit, like he goes to games and Doc Rivers is grabbing the microphone saying respect this man, Adam Silver saying if you saw him playing the other day you would see that this is his last season. Dirk has not announced his retirement. He
Yes.
might
Yeah,
come
I know.
back.
That's what I
That's
thought.
the thing, is we're over here celebrating him as he walks out the door, and he's like, I wasn't going to leave.
I think
I wasn't
and
planning on leaving yet,
I think
guys.
after that they're gonna reconsider this whole like rollout thing because now people are like, how come they didn't do any of this with Paul Pierce? Fuck Paul Pierce, but like, because now it's like, come on,
Facts.
like now you gotta look what happened with Dirk. Come on, can we just like chill with that? Leave it for like the Kobe's and shit.
Facts.
You know, come on.
Ooh.
Not everyone gets a fucking rollout.
Well, here's the thing, and this has been a topic floating around the sports world. I'll ask you the question: where does Dwayne Wade rank in all-time two guards? Because you say leave it for the Kobe's. I think that there's an argument to be made that D Wade was just as good as Kobe.
He's a Kobe.
Okay, so then we agree. I thought you were saying that in the sense of like, fuck, like
No.
D Wade didn't deserve it.
No. D Wade and Dirk do, but like after this, like no one retiring in the next like really 3 years deserves some shit like this.
Yeah, you gotta chill out.
Because now it's just talking about a bunch of people with like one ring. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
If you got one ring, you don't get a rollout.
I mean, in Dirk's defense, he did beat the Heatles.
And apparently he was nice before that too. But like,
He's definitely
Yeah, he was alright before that.
He's definitely, at least up to this point, he is the greatest foreign-born NBA player in history, in my opinion. I think
Facts.
he's
Nah,
I think he's the best. The best.
that's a valid point.
But so I think he would deserve it regardless of the one ring. And honestly, let's be real. If LeBron James wasn't afraid to back down JJ Barea, then he probably wouldn't even have that one ring. So
Wow.
Yeah, you better watch him out when you talk about the king.
Facts. Before he dunks all over you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Bron.
so when I go back and post, that's only going to feel like it was 4 seconds, not
That's what she said.
10, 15. Ooh.
Brown. You got any other news you want us to digest?
Oh yeah. Let me see. I want to take a look at two other topics. We can mix them in one. The MVP race and the Rookie of the Year race. If you had to fully commit to one person
Ben Simmons.
in both categories, who would they be? Prediction strike wise.
Okay, so not who I think is going to win the award, who I think is better to invest in.
They're
Okay.
all the same. Because technically, if you're the best NBA player in the league, you're gonna be making money. That's it. You're gonna be just getting the highest. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It would reflect. Let's just assume in a perfect world.
Okay.
Same thing, Rookie of the Year. You're producing more statistically, so you should be you should be Gucci. That's it.
Give me like top 2 or 3 choices for rookie. Because I know the MVP race, but Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, Luka,
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Trae Young. Those are the only two viable.
Yeah, no.
It's Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons situation. It's gonna be one of those two, without question. No question. There's no other.
I
There's no
agree.
other.
I go Luka just because as good as Trae Young has been.
Trae
in
Young has
flashes,
been on fire lately.
He's still
Since the All-Star break, he's been on fire.
I totally agree with you. My worry with Trae Young is that his game is surrounded by a volume 3-point shooting, which has its really high highs, but also has its really low lows. So if you're gonna catch it, like I'm just thinking the stock market, you don't buy when a stock is rising and it's already this high because you assume it's gonna go down. I feel like Luka's production, while doesn't have as high of a ceiling, has more consistency and is more of a slow rising stock. Whereas it may be the more conservative move, but I think it might be the safer move.
Before you spit your game quick, I'm gonna read you the stats real quick.
Hey.
Currently, Luka, $5.93. Projected 46 points currently right now.
That's a lot.
His last couple games, 45, 53, 34, 36, 46, 24, 37.
Damn.
All right. Trae Young coming in at, what are we at? $2.08. Projected 58 points currently.
Whew.
Last couple games, 83, 58, 53, 36, 47, 33, 43, 26. I feel like at some point before the end of the season, these guys are going to kind of meet projection and price-wise in the middle.
They're gonna regress to the mean at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go down. Pause.
The only reason with the Trae Young thing, why Trae Young got hit with that 58 right now is because he dropped 83 his last one. But he's gonna have like the standard 50-40 projection when that differentiates itself.
Trey Brown James over here.
Yeah, bro, Ice Trae.
Well, you know what?
He jumped like almost like pretty substantial amount from before that game to now.
Can I change my answer?
Yes.
Because I feel like Luka might actually win the award and be more consistently a good player. But if we're talking about stock volatility and the fact that he's only $2-something a share right
What
now,
I'm saying,
Trae Young is going to make you more money.
Luka definitely has the first half, but I think we really need to not put too much dip on our chip in regards to that because Trae Young is definitely making a point.
Yeah, I didn't really think he'd be the one to do it, and obviously a lot of people doubted Trae Young too, coming out, and obviously had no idea who Luka even was, and now these two are the ones who are duking it out for Rookie of the Year. Good for them.
Yeah.
Did you make a choice between the two of those?
Well, Trae Young's on my fantasy team, but his projection is so high. So if you gave me a week, I'll invest in some Trae Young next week when he's not putting up fucking 45 and 10, some shit like that.
Well, yeah, when it settles out.
That's the thing. If it's so high, it's a volatile stock, which is good. It's what you want.
No, but the thing
you
is,
can't ride the high. You gotta wait for it to
no.
come down.
The thing is for that is just a super unique situation. When you score 83, that's
Wait, he scored 83 points?
Well,
yeah, 83 points his last game. 83 fantasy points.
Oh,
clarify, 83 fantasy points. These are not
obviously
straight
we're
points.
talking about the platform, so you gotta be hip.
Just checking in with the audience just to make sure. There's a lot of onions out there like me who sometimes need to be reminded.
Dan just called you onion, right?
I'm talking about me. You kidding me?
So Trae.
All right. Next, the MVPs, right? So I feel like these three are the blatant.
Wait, can I guess?
Front runners.
Can I guess? Giannis, James Harden, Paul George.
Oh, Giannis is. I guess Giannis is who I should have instead of LeBron, right?
LeBron? Yeah, it's not going to happen this year for LeBron.
No. If the Lakers make playoffs, it could definitely happen.
If they do, it's back on.
If they make playoffs, because right now, I feel what you're saying. But because even though they're not winning, LeBron flushes a triple-double every single night. Statistically, he makes the case. Statistically. But when you factor the success of his team, that's why people don't consider him. But he's the fourth person, if not those three, without question.
I was going to say,
winning record, we change that.
I was going to say, I almost kind of want to do a thing right now. Can I do a quick hot take update?
Double segment?
Double segment.
I like that.
Inception segment.
Whoa.
Great movie.
Lakers aren't going to make the playoffs. Go. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
So you're saying the Clippers or Kings are going to make it instead?
I would honestly, right now, I would have more faith. Yeah, I don't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. I think it's too much dysfunction. I don't think their team is that good. Even when LeBron balls out, I don't think the team is that good. I don't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs.
They lost yesterday, and that was pretty crazy. It's definitely frustrating for them, and you can see it on their faces. But I think that might be it for them because I watched most of the game, and I think they're done with that losing shit. I think they're obviously they're trying to make it, but I think LeBron's I think that was it because they can't that was a must.
They had that
game, and they were also winning most of it too. Yeah,
and Ingram showed out.
Yeah,
Ingram showed out,
and they played well.
This is how you know the prodigal son is gonna be back in the next 2 weeks. Lonzo Ball's gonna lead them to the playoffs, baby. Lonzo Ball's gonna lead them to the playoffs. That's it. That's the missing factor. When he was in, they were fourth, fifth in the West. Then he went down. Braun went down.
Fell off.
Rondo went down too.
Shit.
Rondo doesn't need to be starting right now. I don't know who he thinks he is, chucking up 12 threes.
Hey, he hit a big one.
That was crazy, bro. This guy's chucking up threes. Bro, you never did that before. Yo, on God, the court needs to take KCP off that team before LeBron kills him.
Who?
KCP.
You said the court?
Yes.
As in the judicial system.
Jesus
Then you
Christ.
put the ankle monitor back on his shit and take him back because he's fucking shit up.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened to Rondo? Why does he look so dehydrated? Oh, shit.
No, it's just KCP clanking, bro.
Usually it's Rondo.
Well, I guess we unanimously agree. LeBron, when the Lakers make the playoffs, unanimous MVP.
I mean, should be, but he probably won't win it.
The thing is, his projection is up there, too, so it's kind of whack because I kind of want to invest in LeBron, too.
I invested in him. I talked about this a little bit in the portfolio section, but I invested in him back when this was a week before the All-Star break, coming back from the injury, and he was at $9.10 a share. He's at about $9.60 right now. $9.71 to be exact. So he's above that, but if you look at his per game splits, which I'm pulling up right now, his per game splits, his fantasy projection right now is at about 55.9. His last couple games, 55, 57, 47, 58, 44. So he's either just getting below it or he's has that one game that keeps him above. But at this point, it's kind of one of those, if you're not in on LeBron now, it may be too late, personally.
Fuck.
Unless you wait for him to have a rough stretch, and then here's the scenario. He has a rough stretch, dips down to 850, and then you buy him with 2 weeks left that he has to qualify for the playoffs. And then he's gonna fucking ball out and get a triple-double every game.
Listen, it doesn't matter. If you got big money, spend big money, make big money.
Hey.
Don't matter.
Yeah, I got I got decent surpluses coming off of some of these other gains, and I'm just saving it for the playoffs. So I need, some heat to go into the playoffs with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all I got.
That was good.
That was good. Shall we move on to...
That was good. The Detroit Pistons.
I went out of order. It was supposed to be...
The Denver Nuggets.
You guys hear me chewing?
A little bit.
Probably.
Shout out the alphabet. Real quick. And then I almost said the wrong team too. The Denver Nuggets. Let me just throw some nuggets out there about the
Throw some nuggets
Yup.
about the Nuggets.
Let's see. Most recent news. Marcus alluded to news from KJ about a former Celtic, now Nugget, named Isaiah Thomas, same height as myself. He came out pretty hot, honestly. That first game back, he came out balling. That shit was on Twitter. Good job. You did it for Twitter. His price isn't really killing it right now. The hot ticket item for me that I'm looking at on the Nuggets would be the young guy, Monte Morris, I believe a point guard. On the strike, he's listed at $8.82. Projection 13.49 points. The price is pretty high up there because obviously it's been, explored a decent amount. Harris coming back.
Just to since you were asking, Monte Morris's last couple games, well, he's what did you say he was projected?
Okay, one of them was 4 points, but the
one
other
of them was 0.4 points. And
Wet.
the one before that was 8, but before that 25, 13, 16, 35. So volatile, lots of potential, but risky.
Not to negate everything you said, but the guards of the Nuggets
mess.
Not the wave. Too much dip and chip.
They have the same problem that the Boston Celtics do across their front court, where they have too many guys who should be getting 25 to 30 minutes a game, and then somebody just ends up getting the shit end of the stick.
Yeah, it's like the Knicks, except they're all not trash.
Well, the Knicks just have too many people who should be getting 5 to 10 minutes a game, and they're trying to figure out who to put in there. They have the opposite problem.
Except for Moutier, he plays all game for whatever reason.
They got 7 point guards, and Moutier is the one that they think is going to lead them to the promised land.
Where's Frank? Sorry. Marcus, you had a Jokic a run, no, on the strike, or is he on your fantasy team?
Yeah, I had him before the All-Star break.
Yeah,
You got rid of him though. Yeah, they expect too much out of that guy.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, some of these guys when they're projected over 50, they get a good streak and you ride that. But once it's like time for them to like ease up, you gotta pull out
It's
because then
crazy.
they're gonna go back to where you found them at.
It's really crazy because every time you've brought up one of these players, I pull up their graphs and they have like three. Like this is Jokic right now. He's at 890 something a share, I think, but 894. But he's got 3 huge spikes all at around $12, and since then, down.
So you're confirming I know what I'm talking about?
I'm saying like but like he's not the only player that I've seen.
The answer is
this way.
yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Sorry, I'm mansplaining, but I'm doing it to agree with you.
No, I wasn't even getting at you. I was just trying to.
No, I caught myself doing it.
No, I was trying to enter the rodeo. I know you'd be there.
But yeah, no, it is. You do see it a lot with these guys who have like those high projections. They. All right, I'm gonna set it back off.
No, you're right. You're right.
No, but now I really am. I'm mansplaining to a man who's more of a man than I am a man. So this is just awkward.
Marcus is trying to bring his horseshoes, man.
That's just funny. That's all big facts.
Paul Millsap, big time favorite, but his projection is just crazy. His is 37.84 points.
Which is weird because he's just coming off from injury. He hasn't even really produced that much yet. He's been on my fantasy team. He's been solid, but he hasn't been.
There's a lot of people who, just based on how the algorithm works, just like how well they did before the injury, is statistically like what they are expected to do.
They don't account for like rehab time.
Exactly. So that was big with. I took a look at Dinwiddie, whatever the guy's name.
Dinwiddie?
Yeah, Dinwiddie. Dr. Doolittle. And then, like, he's going to be big with this Nets playoff run. But then, like, he went off in the beginning of the season. So, like, his projections are, like, almost, like, 50-40. And I'm like, nah, I'm not getting into that. And he's, like, I think he's, like, almost, like, $10 a share already still.
Damn.
So, yeah. Nah.
Yeah, no. What's his face? Yeah, Millsap, he put up, like looking at his most recent games on the strike, he put up 50 points, and then I think that's where he got hurt, and then he just like hasn't been around there, and like still he's just his projection's just up there. It's coming down though. Maybe for that playoff run, he might be a candidate. Candidate.
He can did it.
You guys got any more nuggets? Like, there's literally only 3 that we've talked about.
Well, we talked about Gary Harris coming back from injury, but I don't think we talked about any of his numbers. And
I have him on my fantasy team. I had him on my fantasy team as of yesterday. That's just enough.
You got rid of him?
Dude, there's not enough time for him to find his spot in this new lineup.
Oh, shit.
Fantasy playoffs are next week.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and speaking of playoffs, the actual NBA playoffs are in like a month or two.
So
if he isn't finding a rhythm now, like Denver's, what are they, 2 or 3 in the West right now? Like they're not gonna fuck their system up right now just to get him minutes.
They're doing well with these guys, yeah. With Jumanji Murray and Six Man.
I'm sorry, who?
6 Man?
Monte Morris?
Yeah. So you know who I'm talking about.
I do. I don't know if anybody else did.
No, they get it. Come on, our fans get it.
You get it.
Our fan gets it.
Hey.
We get it.
Fair enough.
Michael Porter Jr.? Nothing?
Yo,
he's
not playing this year.
I know.
No, but that's crazy. They're going to have him too. That's going to be crazy.
That's going to be what?
They said he would have been the number 1 overall pick if he was not hurt.
People said that he got the Kawhi injury right now. I seen him dunking on the internet.
So like, yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He'll be all right. He'll be back. When he comes back, he'll be good.
A lot of load management.
Shout out to 2 Chainz. What was the new album called?
Rap or Go to the League.
Executive produced by LeBron James. There's like a docu-series where they show him like recording something, and it was the night before or the night of Bron got arrested for load management earlier this season, which was a big deal. And it was the date matched up to when he didn't play that night and when he was like in the studio working on 2 Chainz' album.
Drinking wine.
Ooh, yeah. Bron. That's savage.
Yeah, he's credited as A&R on the album, I believe, and it's pretty much all just songs that he would sit in the back of his Maybach with a do-rag on and bump.
And not a set to.
Like and put on the story, yeah. Like all those songs, just imagine LeBron, just all those videos of him listening to
That's
music.
why it was kind of mid.
Facts. Because it was carefully selected by LeBron. Oh, just like another soundtrack that I know. That one fucking 2K soundtrack with fucking Phil Collins on it.
Oh, is that the one he
Yeah.
executive produced?
Yeah.
He put Phil Collins on it?
Bro, I popped in 2K, whatever, like 2K17 the first time, whatever shit that was. I'm like, okay, first song was Wet. I'm like, doom, 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 doom. Then doom, 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 doom. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Phil, what the fuck
Shit
you
turned
doing,
into
bro?
Aladdin real quick. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You fucking accidentally hit Phil Collins. You're in the stroke playlist or something.
That's not funny.
My bad.
Yeah, so like we were saying, the Detroit Pistons.
Oh, shit. The Detroit Pistons. Somehow the Detroit Pistons are financially able to sustain a football team. But, yeah.
Wait, the Pistons are able to support a football team?
Fuck.
Yeah, Detroit is like, doesn't the city suck and it's broke?
Don't they what?
Doesn't the city suck?
Yeah.
They're still riding off Ford money. That's about all they got.
Yeah. Eminem's washed. What else they got?
Yeah, doesn't Big Sean own the Pistons?
I think Big Sean is not even in existence anymore.
Didn't they just give it to him one day? She's like, yo, you want this?
They gave him the key to the city, and they're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, here's the Pistons."
Actually, to be honest, I seen Big Sean on the bench. I swear to God.
Nah, it's Reggie Jackson.
Oh yeah, facts.
I meant Ish Smith. Damn.
Both work.
Yeah, I thought Ish Smith would be a
He's
guy
still on
who
that team?
somehow.
You know what I realized too? I was doing 2K the other day, and I was playing like the GM mode. I'm like drafting like a fantasy team or whatever. Ish Smith is like 32 years old.
Really?
Like the bro is
Really?
not a kid, or he's not 32. Maybe he's 30, but he's not a kid anymore. Like I'm just like I was waiting for him to like get better and better, and he's just he's Ish Smith. That's just him. But yeah, he's definitely 30.
Like that one dude, Brandon Jackson?
Yeah, he's definitely 30. You're right.
You mean Brendan Knight?
Nah, the one who's like crazy, like runs around a lot, played for the Knicks for a little bit, and then he moved on. I forgot his name.
Brandon Jennings?
Yeah, Brandon Jennings. Yeah.
What?
My bad.
Oh well, that yeah.
Yeah,
He was drafted by the Bucks.
but he doesn't look that old.
Yeah, but he was
He
with,
got,
but he also played with the Bucks for like 5 or 6 years before. Like he was like a borderline all-star for them for a while. When we were
I
in
was
high
just talking Pharrell syndrome, where you just don't look that old. Ever.
school. Yeah, Ish Smith is 30. Turns 30. He turns 31 in July.
Yo, interestingly enough, the player that I was looking at the most for the Detroit Pistons was Langston Galloway, former Knick.
Ooh, I liked him.
Yep, he's on PredictionStrike.com. Good for him. You made the cut.
It's good to know we didn't make a mistake cutting him because wherever he went next, he clearly did not last. I think it was New Orleans.
Yeah, he went to the D League.
Yeah.
I think after that.
Mm-hmm. What's what is his price right now though?
Price right now is $1.12.
You know how I get down with one.
Yo.
He's hitting at what? 12.75 points. Can't read my own handwriting. 12.75 points. Not bad.
Really?
His most recent games were pretty good too. They were looking good. Just I guess as a backup, he just whatever does his thing.
I feel like a lot of these Pistons players are like really like low risk, low reward, conservative, just like kind of we'll call them like the penny slot plays, where it's like you just put a little money here and there, and like guys like that, just to know that it might go up a little bit, but you won't lose too much. Kind of like your Eagles defense take from last year was supposed to be.
Hey.
No, but see, look at this fuck shit, right?
Uh-oh.
See, now, this is for fucking big guy.
Uh-oh.
You're talking about Langston Galloway, right?
Right?
Last 3 games, 26 points, 21 points, 15 points. Projected 12 points.
That's why we're trying to get in on that before it changes.
Bro, you're not going to get any money because he's not going to make money until the projection changes. He's not going to get anything off of those, like, no value off of those fucking big games either.
I thought they had to score above 14 points.
No, as long as the projection is that, doesn't matter what they do. And the cap is like 18 until their projection is over that. Doesn't matter what they score.
That's
So
different.
the people that like are just getting burned and you can hit a lick off the first couple games, that doesn't happen anymore.
That's different.
It's like then maybe get the projection. Like I don't like you know what I mean. You see, that's what I was tight about because I was trying to hit a lick on who was it?
Was it you were talking about it earlier? You were trying to get
Isaiah Thomas.
yeah.
No, I have Isaiah Thomas.
Fuck.
Hold on, I got you.
I thought it was Isaiah Thomas too.
Mm.
Sorry.
Carry on.
What's give me some numbers on Andre Drummond, because you know how I am with like I like with the centers and like your shooting percentage, rebound.
I will entertain,
Stuff.
but I'm just gonna open with I haven't fucked with Andre Drummond since that iCarly shit, bro.
Oh, you know what it was? Sorry, excuse me.
Go ahead.
When KD didn't play, I bought Mad Sean Livingston because he was going to start. For me to find out, nothing would have happened because his projection was too low. I'm like, yo, so get the projections up because he's starting now. You know what I mean? Or like, come on, that's money. That's like watching the league, knowing what's going on, and making a money move off of something that you should be able to just by you knowing that information. You know what I'm saying? I understand why it's in place, but for a starter, it should maybe be considered because same thing with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't care what he's not being projected as. If he's a starter, he should be expected to put at least starter numbers. If it's someone coming off the bench that, it's a fail-safe to prevent that from happening, I understand that. But a starter should by default be active and be, viable to change on every night that he starts.
Well, I think the problem is that they're trying to, you're trying to protect your. I'm talking from the prediction strike perspective now. They're trying to do the thing that they did in the NFL season, where if it's a projection below, 1 or 2, then you didn't get anything to happen because you didn't want to get that backup, which is fine.
But it's not 1 or 2.
The ratio between 1 fantasy football point is not 18 fantasy basketball points. That's not a fair comparison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, at least something where
it's tweaky.
At least something where, say they do start and their projection is still down there. At least when the window closes or some shit, at least raise it to the minimum or something. Like if they start, you should be able to at least still have it go against the minimum.
Yeah.
After the fact,
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I understand. You should be able to go back in. You should be able to. I'm doing the thing again. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. If they start all of a sudden, boom, they're 14 projection, whatever, at least. So Andre Drummond is trash prediction strike wise. $4.98. Projected 45.27 points.
I feel like he could hit that, no?
Honestly, some of those, yeah. To be honest, now that I scroll down and look at his actual game history, he kind of has been crushing some of them. He's put up a 66, a 60, a 56, 52.
He's trying to do the old Dwight Howard thing from 5 years ago, get 20 points and 20 rebounds every game.
Yeah.
He's trying
I
to prove.
I think that was actually the Andre Drummond thing from a couple years ago. He was doing that shit.
Facts.
Well, I think his thing was he's trying to prove that player can still be an all-star in the NBA. He was salty as fuck last year when he didn't make the all-star team, and he was like I'm out here scoring 25 points and 15 rebounds a game. My shooting percentage is almost 80. He was basically what else does a guy have to do to make the fucking all-star team? What else do I need to do?
Not play in Detroit.
Not date iCarly.
Facts. I thought I saw the Amanda show.
So did I, but
no,
walked away.
That's some broad.
Hey. What do we got? Pistons? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
that's what that's why we talked about Drummond for 5 minutes.
Well, I'm trying to get some Pistons guap. Shout out. Shout out Big Sean. That was a good song. Good summer song out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My bad. I'm dumb. I have Thon Maker.
Oh, yeah, you talked about Thon Maker. But you know what? It's okay. Because when you were talking about Thon Maker before, I honestly had no idea what team he was on anymore. I didn't know.
Yeah, he got traded from the Bucks, and he just won't do anything. I don't understand. And there's someone on the Bucks now who looks just like him again. So I'm like, well, how are the Bucks doing that? First of all, actually, I'm sorry. I need to do some outside research on this guy, see if he got traded back to the Bucks or some shit. But
Was that your just kidding. I was like, did you want the news update there? Were you looking at me for something?
No, that was the exit music. Because you guys haven't talked in a while.
The Daily Dividends podcast is brought to you by PredictionStrike.com. PredictionStrike.com is the first website where you can buy and sell shares of your favorite athletes and get paid real money based on their fantasy performance. After a very successful beta, PredictionStrike.com is proud to announce their V2 launch coming in the fall to start the NFL season. In the meantime, if you want to learn how to still make some big money moves, Stay tuned to the Daily Dividends podcast.